All right, we are live. Hello there. Welcome to Be the Boss of Your Money. I'm Mitch Goldberg, your host. We're talking about the market. Couple quick stories today. The stock of the day, the biggest story of the day, and basically what was a boring day, boring AF, getting set for the holidays coming up. And it's just like the street, Wall Street in general, is just tired. The latest thing to blow everybody out of the water with whatever energy they had was this whole FTX crypto debacle. So we're going to get into these things. Stick around. We're going to cover some quick topics. We're going to go through this pretty quick. While you're watching, thumbs up, if you will. That helps me spread the good word about the show, the work we're doing here. I do all of this myself. I don't have sponsors. I'm just doing it here to share the knowledge that I have with you. If you have any questions, I love hearing from you. That is what the comments are for. Ask me your questions or just say hi in the comments. Say hi, where you're watching from. A word of encouragement is always appreciated. And let's have some fun. So right now, I'm going to roll. I'm going to get the, let's get the banner going there. And I'm going to get the introduction going. And get ready. 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, while you're watching this, we already have someone out there. John says hello. Hey, John Martucci. Nice to see you, my man. Thank you very much for saying hello. Really appreciate that. Let's see. Let's try something new for you, man. This is just for you. All right, everybody. Give it up for John Martucci. All right. All right. Thank you very much for checking us out here today. So while you're watching this, if you would, do me a quick little favor, and Maddie, I see you out there. Thank you so much, Jerry. Thank you for being such a good buddy. I always appreciate your support. You know that. Things on my front, by the way, Jerry, you know what I mean, are going pretty good. All right. Jerry says, hey there, and hey there, Jerry, and same here from Mr. Martucci. Do your friends call you Martucci? Or is it kind of cheesy? It's just Martucci. Okay, no offense there, buddy. So anyway, so let me know how I'm coming in today, okay? Because I'm doing something a little bit different. I don't know if you can tell the voice or not in my voice, but no, that's not what I want to do. Hold on a second. You see this device over here? This is a Rodecaster Pro 2. This is the latest and greatest in streaming audio technology. It's a pretty dynamite machine. I just literally am using it for the first time ever right now. Out of the box, a couple of quick settings. I know about audio and how to use these things, and I know how to adjust for gain and filters and all of those things to get the most out of your voice. It's not supposed to change your voice. It's supposed to make your voice sound the best it could. So I'm using this, and I hope I'm coming in nice and clear, and I hope I sound really good to you guys. Yeah, Jerry says yay. I think you're saying yay for the new device, right? And what it replaces is this. It's this. So I am very good with this kind of old school device. I've been using these devices for years. I know how to use these. I know there's a lot of knobs on it, a lot of inputs, but I know how to use it. I know what all the buttons mean. So I'm using a different device, but it's a little different. But once you get used to it, it starts to get easy. So you kind of realize that everything is just on a digital screen instead of playing with the knobs. But have you also noticed that my screen is not it's not skipping? There was a big complaint of mine and on the show that my screen would keep glitching constantly. And if you notice, there's no more glitch. And I think the reason for that is because this device with all the knobs that I just showed you is not really made for streaming. It's really made for music. It's like if you have a band, You have inputs for the mics, for the instruments, and it's really something like if you're going to play in a bar. You can play a pretty big venue with this device. It's the Yamaha Pro FX10, but the one I'm using now from Rode right here is really made for streaming and video. So I'm very excited about it. And Jerry says, "Yay, no doubt about your other stuff." Thank you, buddy. And Rhonda says, "Great, great. Thank you very much, Rhonda. I hope you're saying great, that the sound is sounding really good, that my voice is coming in uh, nice and clear. I have it set to some settings to make it sound more like a podcasty broadcast sound. Think back a long time ago listening to Carol Miller on WNEW at about 5 o'clock evening time during your drive home. That's kind of, that quality broadcast voice I'm thinking of. Anyway, so what's the big deal today? Oh, let me give you the first most important story of the day, and this is what this is. All right, let me take you off the screen, Rhonda, and pop myself in here. Okay, Fed Vice Chair says, make this a little bit bigger so you can see it on your screen. All right, Fed Vice Chair Brainard says it may soon be appropriate to move to a slower pace of rate hikes. And that is soothing. That's what the market really wants. We want to get to the point of inflation expectations starting to come in a little bit. Oh my God, that's so funny. This is just too funny. So let me find the mouse here. Rhonda says, yes, sound is good. Thank you, my friend. All right, I'm pumped. I like the overhead picture. Thank you very much. And Carol Miller rocks. She sure does. It was just a really good article about her in Newsday not too long ago, maybe a month or two ago. It was really cool. It's like, wow, I know who she is, but I never saw a picture of what she looked like. Because I'm 55, and I've been listening to her my entire life since I'm a teenager. I've been listening to her voice on radio. But anyway, so Fed Vice Chair Brainard says it may soon be appropriate for the Fed to move to slow down its pace of rate hike. So the Fed's been raising rates 0.75 of a point 4 times in a row. Before that, it did it, I think, like a half a point to start. So the Fed funds rate is about 4% right now. It's expected to reach 5%. And the December meeting, which is about a month away, the Fed is expected to raise about 0.5%. And then the next meeting is, I think it's February 1st or 2nd. Fed's expected to raise 0.25 point and then either maintain a pace of 0.25 point or just stop. So I think the street is expecting 3 more hikes, 0.5 point next month, 0.25 in February, 0.25 in March. Fed meets every 6 weeks, okay? So that 0.5 plus 0.25 plus 0.25 is 1 full point. So we're at 4. That gets us to 5%. Now, we're seeing signs of a slowdown. We're seeing so many companies announce layoffs or CEOs warning of a recession on the horizon. One such CEO is Jamie Dimon, who is the CEO of the biggest bank in the country, JP Morgan, one of the biggest banks in the world. Today, the CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, came out today and said, let's pull up the news if we can get it, okay? Amazon announces 10,000 layoffs. You see that? We're not going to watch that whole video, but 10,000 layoffs. All right. 10,000 people. That's pretty substantial news. But in a way, I know this sounds kind of sad to say, but that's good news for the market. The Fed is trying to slow down the economy by slowing unemployment, causing some job loss because the unemployment rate is so low, it's hard to fill positions. As a result, wages have been going up. So if the Fed can slow down the economy, see some layoffs, see some weaker, car sales, that is good news for the Fed in a way because it'll get the Fed to stop raising rates and to be a little bit looser with its monetary policy, or at least just stay where it is. Okay, so that's going to be perceived as good news, and that plays into the Fed's hands a slowing of the economy, which would involve layoffs. The job market is still very, very strong. Now, there are those who say we could be going into a deflationary slash disinflation environment. Strategist, I forget the name, from UBS said that over the weekend. Kathy Wood, who runs the ARC Fund, says that we are actually already seeing signs of deflation, and the Fed has raised rates too much, has gotten too tight. Look, we're not going to know for a while, and I think the doomsday calls and the most optimistic calls are usually not the ones that come true. They might happen for a moment, but they don't stick around for long. Remember, whenever the stock market hits a new high or a new low, you look back and you realize it was only there for a moment. Just a moment is all it lasts. But if we do see layoffs, CEOs warning of an impending recession, that's actually a good thing for investors. Now, we had a big rally. The S&P was up. You can't invest, by the way, directly into the S&P 500. You can't invest into an index, but you could invest in a security that tracks or mimics an index. The S&P 500, having said all that, was up 5.9% last week. So to see the markets give back a little bit today is, I don't think anything terrible, okay? Nothing to be upset about. So big deal. The Dow was off 200.6%. Nasdaq was off a little bit more than 1%. S&P was off 35 points. Not a big deal. Gold in the 1700s. It's been moving up a little bit. It's been stuck in the 1600s for a while. Oil down almost $4 a barrel. Oil is a very tough thing to read right now because as China starts to cool it with the massive workforce stoppages because of COVID, and demand for oil starts going up for China, that's expected to push up the price of oil. Yet today, oil was down a pretty good amount, over 4%. 10-year yield still under 4% after having sat there for a few weeks. The VIX is still 23, even though it's up a little bit today. No great shake. So let's take a look at the whole bond market, okay? Rates pretty much across the board, almost across the board, were up. But you're still getting 4.5% on the 6 month, 4.6% on the 1 year. Listen, if you could put money into a 6 month T-bill and get 4.5%, and that is free from state income taxes. So if you're a New York resident, you only have to pay federal taxes. That's a pretty good place to park some money. Now, some people probably overdid it and went all in on short-term bonds and got out of the market and said, "I'll wait till things get better." I think you should really have a diversified, mixed approach to help you get to your goals. Now, diversification is a strategy that we use to mitigate risk, but it doesn't necessarily protect your portfolio from going down in a generally down market. So just because you're diversified doesn't mean your portfolio can't go down, but it does help limit the extent to how much your portfolio could come down. And it can also be an aid in helping your portfolio recover quicker. And then there's that whole don't put all of your eggs in one basket, so that if you have a concentrated position in a stock, for example, and it goes down a lot, it won't take your entire portfolio down with it. Okay, so there you go. Let's take a look at crypto. A lot of stuff happening in crypto, but crypto is down to 16,000 on Bitcoin. Okay. And do we talk about Doge? I used to talk about Doge because I thought it was appalling that Elon Musk is touting it, which is 9 cents now. But let's get out of the crypto. Point is, crypto is not down because there was something wrong with crypto. Just to be sure, I'm not recommending crypto. I'm not recommending against it or for it. You have to decide if it's for you. My personal decision, I can say this: I don't own any crypto. Infer from that what you will. It's not for me. I have other things to invest in. And you know, it's just me, okay? But you do you, I'll do me. That's not a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe crypto will go up a lot and I'll regret not owning it. Maybe it'll go down a lot and I'll be glad I didn't put money into it. But I'm going to look at it this way. I'm happy with what I have, and what I have, I expect to go up, and I'll be happy. And I'm not going to look at everything else that also went up or went up more, because what's the point? I'm investing for me, not for someone else. Now, I'm investing for clients as well, but that's a whole different story, which, by the way, my clients are invested pretty much like me, because what I do for them, I do for me. So that's how it should work, right? You eat your own cooking. Anyway, crypto is not down lately because it's because something's wrong with crypto. Whether if you believe in it or not is a different story. If you believe in it, great. If you don't, great. It's down because of a loss of confidence in the people who trade crypto, who manage exchanges. Because the stuff that happened with this exchange called FTX should never happen, where the CEO is able to use the customer's money that was invested in crypto and use it to help trade in his hedge fund, which blew up. So when that blew up, the money he lost was his customers' money out of his customers' accounts. Uh, that's probably why Binance, the biggest crypto exchange, looked at FTX and said they're going to buy it, and a day later said, on second thought, we're not touching this thing. We're not even going to go near it. In fact, anyone who uses the FTX coin, we're not even going to trade those or honor those. We want nothing to do with it. And just so you know, if investors question your confidence, it means they've already lost their confidence in it, in you, or whatever they're questioning in terms of confidence. So anyway, basically, the CEO gambled away the client's funds, and yeah, and Rhonda, I think, put it aptly. Another Madoff. It does look like that. I mean, not exactly, and thank goodness not to the extent, but yeah, severe malfeasance on the part of someone who thought he could get away with it, and he thought that, you know, he thought that people weren't looking over his shoulder. Now, a lot of the stuff that this guy did, if it falls under fraud, then, you know, he's toast. But a lot of it is not necessarily, might not be illegal, because the rules are not really in place yet for crypto regulation. It's still the Wild West. And Gary Gensler of the SEC has been saying, investors, if you want to be in this stuff, you're on your own. Don't come bitching to us. We told you it's caveat emptor, right? So that's what's going on over there. And I think that's really about it. So just to reiterate, this is the big story of the day. It adds hope for investors who want the Fed to finally get to the point where they could reach the terminal rate, the highest rate of short-term rates that they're going to raise to. And after that, hopefully, hopefully, they cut rates and we start a new bull market. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mitch Goldberg. You're watching Be the Boss of Your Money, and I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great evening. Thank you, and thanks for putting up with my adjustment for the new gear, the new audio gear, and thank you, Rhonda, for your feedback. It is much appreciated. Bye.